Hey guys, it's Merritt here, coming at you with a full Subtlety Rogue single target guide. In this video, I'll be going over how to min-max your rotation, when to Shuriken Storm, proper symbols of death usage, and a breakdown of Rupture and Slice and Dice usage. I want to give a full disclaimer though, I will not be covering Flagellation or Bone Spike at all because until, I want to say 2 weeks ago, they were basically non-existent until the 9.0.5 buffs. So I'm not currently knowledgeable enough, nor am I confident enough to teach min-maxing playstyles centered around those covenants. Either way though, this guide will cover most of what you need to know as a sub-rogue, so without further ado, let's jump right in. Alright, point number 1, min-maxing your rotation. So as we all know, Subtlety is all about your burst damage during Shadow Dance, and this burst can be split into two categories, burst with Shadow Blades and burst without. Regardless, ignoring a couple of exceptions, your rotation of Shadow Strike, Eviscerate remains the same throughout most situations. Now, what are those exceptions? Well, the first is whether or not you get a Weapon Master proc, which is when you hit Shadow Strike and it strikes twice, giving you double the combo points and double the damage. When this happens, you have actually just been blessed by the Rogue Gods, because no matter what, your next ability will be a combo point spender, such as Eviscerate. In Shadow Blades, this is obvious, because you'll be at 6 combo points. However, you'll still be using a combo point spender outside of Shadow Blades in your normal Shadow Dance rotations. Now, I understand that some of this may sound strange, right? We have 6 combo points and we're spending a finisher at 4. Well, here's the thing. With Slice and Dice up, which you should absolutely have up at all times, or close to, your auto attacks generate a combo point on average every 3 seconds. So chances are you're going to get that combo point and spend a 5-point finisher instead of a 4. And if you push yourself to 6, then those auto-generated combo points you're bound to get are going to have nowhere to go, and you'll be overcapping and therefore wasting your resources. Anyway, the second exception is if you are a curing rogue. And I do want to be clear, this is a very greedy playstyle, although I do play it myself sometimes, often regretting it. But if you want to aim for that Anima Charge combo point, I say go for it. One word of advice though, I would not go for it during Shadow Blades, because chances are you're just going to be hitting 4 combo point eviscerates. And remember, during Shadow Blades, you always want 6 combo point eviscerates. So, take your chances if you want, but I don't recommend it. And that brings us to the next point, your symbols of death usage. So every symbols of death you use should be paired with a full Shadow Dance. Symbols last for 10 seconds and Shadow Dance lasts for 8 seconds, meaning that you need a charge of dance in the first 2 seconds of popping any symbols of death. Make sure that you do not reapply Rupture or Slice and Dice during this window, meaning that you have them both up going into your burst. If you are a Curing Rogue, you can pair every other Echoing Reprimand with the symbols, and if you're a Night Fae gamer, every Sepsis should be paired with the symbols. When using these abilities, the way you want to do it, or rather the order of events, is you want to pop your symbols of death, use Sepsis or Echoing Reprimand for the Mastery buff, and then go straight into your Shadow Dance rotation. The last thing about symbols, keep in mind it does not buff your Skulker's Wing or your Dreadfire Vessel, so you can generally use those at will or off cooldown. And now, for the more tedious stuff, let's cover your Rupture and Slice and Dice usage. So both of these abilities should have as close to 100% uptime as possible, and you really should never have to cast them during your Shadow Dance or your Shadow Blades, meaning you need to refresh these before you jump into your burst. Of the two, Slice and Dice is your absolute priority for the combo point regeneration, so you always need to keep this one up. If both that and Rupture are falling off at the same time, make sure that you choose to refresh Slice and Dice before you refresh Rupture. Unless you're gonna run away from the boss, then you want to Rupture. But anyway, outside of your burst, when are the best times to refresh either ability? If your Rupture has 8 seconds left on the timer, then you are safe to refresh it without losing any damage value, even with maximum combo points. As for Slice and Dice, you are 100% safe as well if you refresh it within its last 12 seconds. And now for the final point. Point number 4. When do you Shuriken Storm to increase your pure single target damage? There are some fights in Castle Nathria and dungeons and whatnot where you'll have additional targets next to your priority target, such as Huntsman Altamore in Castle Nathria. So when do you Shuriken Storm? Simply speaking, without Shadow Dance, you Shuriken Storm instead of Backstab at 2 or more targets. You easily make up for the difference in damage with your combo point generation. However, during Shadow Dance, it's generally a little better to storm on 4 more targets, especially in scenarios where ads are only up for a short amount of time. That's actually preferable when ads are up for only a short amount of time. Now, finally, with Shadow Blades, you don't even bother. Do not Shuriken Storm. No matter how many enemies there are, Shuriken Storming with Blades up will never, ever, ever deal more single target damage than Shadow Strikes and Eviscerates. As an overall summary, the main things that you need to focus on as a Subtlety rogue are as follows. Number 1, you need to min-max your globals during your burst phases. Number 2, you need to make sure you have your cooldowns ready for when Symbols of Death comes off CD. Number 3, you need to prioritize Slice and Dice but still have as close to 100% uptime for both that and Rupture as possible. And number 4, you need to storm outside of Shadow Dance with 2 or more targets, storm inside Shadow Dance with 4 more targets, preferably in short windows, and you never storm during Shadow Blades. Alright, I believe that's about all I got. I think I've covered all of Subtlety's bases. There are some situational min-maxing things that I've left out, but the video would end up being a lot longer if I covered it, so, maybe another day. If you found this guide helpful, remember to leave a like, and if you're really feeling spicy, feel free to throw a sub my way. Oh my god. Also, really gonna try to post more than 1 video this year. I know it's tough, we'll see how it turns out. But either way, until next time.